Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with James Sinclair, who is the author of 3 books, and he's all over LinkedIn, actually more than me. James, what would you describe yourself as in terms of in business?
International sex god.
Well, that goes without saying, but moving on.
What I describe? Well, I'm an entrepreneur that's passionate about helping people grow their businesses, but also have quite a sizable business right now that owns daycare centres, visitor attractions. We make teddy bears, made over 1 million teddy bears. I own quite a lot of property, mainly commercial property now.
I've been online and it says that you have 7 businesses and all of them are, £1 million businesses plus. So when did you first become an entrepreneur?
Oh, so I started my first business when I was at school, which was called Jimbo the Party Man, which was a children's entertainment business. And I built that up doing magic shows and discos and stuff like that. So by the time I left school, I was earning about £1,000, £1,500 a week. And I invested all that into property, and I built up a children's entertainment agency from there. I learned some big mistakes in that business. Although it made a lot of money, it was a swapping time for money business. So I went on a quest to build a business that worked without me in it day to day.
Has entrepreneurship always been in your family, or was that just a stray gene?
No, I would say, I think my dad done some property stuff and probably knows how many beans make 5. I left home when I was 17. He didn't employ anyone or do anything like that, but he wasn't. I don't know the answer to that. No, I would say no. There was no strong entrepreneurial drive in my family.
But at the end of the day, if you're 14, 15 years old and you're doing discos and party things, there must have been something. You almost sound like the British version of Gary Vee.
Well, I just wanted to. I mean, I love being on stage. I love entertaining, and I had this massive desire to set up a business from a very young age. I mean, I can remember being in school, like drawing what my fleet of vans would look like, what my logos would look like, what my uniforms would look like. And I just got the bug very early on.
Is it about the money?
No, because I think, whilst I am a man of profit, there's no joke about that. I do want to make money. I often think to myself, there is so many more industries that I don't operate in that are far more profitable. So I could just, for example, put all my energy and enthusiasm into property and probably make a lot more money than I do by running children's day nurseries, fun parks and visitor attractions. But they are the industries that I have a real passion for. And I think when you've got a passion for an industry, you'll get the resilience through those tough times.
Okay, but if you're a multimillionaire, you've got 7 businesses, what the hell are you spending most of your time talking to people like me, going on stage, when you've hardly got anything to sell? Because it's not as if you've got a course or anything to sell at the end, is
Well,
there?
no, I think if you build a personal brand, and I do some seminars, absolutely, but no, I'm not, it's not, the training side of my business is teeny weeny compared to the...
So the amount of effort that you put in doing all these videos is not commensurate with what you get back in return directly from them?
No, I wouldn't say that. There's a couple of reasons I'll explain to you. Number one, I do them because I think if I build a great personal brand, I attract great opportunities for my business. For example, I had a shopping centre business in here, a year ago saying, look, James, we've seen all your content online. We want to open 9 family entertainment centres. We want to fund it all. We know that you know how many beans make 5. Could you come and run them for us? That could generate us millions of pounds worth of sales, which would completely outweigh the money that I'd make from a training course. I also attract great employees. I've just opened a day nursery in Ipswich, and we attracted a day nursery manager for that site that's watched all my content, that's culture ready, that understands their business. My 450 employees get to see what I'm up to. They know what I believe, so that drives culture into our business as well. That's why I write books as well, so that they are the vision, the statement of facts, of culture, of what we believe for our business. So I think there's many more reasons to people paying me, and people do pay me really well to go and speak on a stage and give business advice, which I love doing.
Because I know you earn money by being on stage, but you could earn a lot more by putting that time and focus into working on your business. Yet what you're saying is by giving great advice and opinion and creating great content over here, you're telling me that you're actually you're attracting people to you here, stuff that you could never have even dreamed of getting.
Absolutely. I mean, recruitment costs a lot of money, and if you know, like Disney will do this, and Steve Jobs, they've built personal brands. Elon Musk has built a personal brand that will attract financiers, great employees to come and work for them. So when I make content, that's what I'm thinking of first of all. What's the pillars of how it can help my trading business? Then if people want me to do some consultancy, some non-exec work, which I don't do very much of, but you know, if someone really offers me a decent amount of money, then I'll go and do it.
You see, I keep banging on in the estate agency game, but I would actually say probably the same in all businesses. But you've with the advent of the internet, the only thing we're going to have is brand, and personal brand is probably better than company brands at the moment, because you can't trust a brand. I know you've got Apple and other such things, but no estate agents are going to have that sort of branding. What is the importance of personal branding going into the 21st century, especially with the advent of social media?
So for me, I think company brands are really important, but I think the best company brands have been built from a personal brand in the first scenario. So Richard Branson for Virgin, Walt Disney for Disney, Steve Jobs catapulted the Apple brand, but then the brands take over. So I would say the Virgin brand and the Disney brand and the Apple brand are bigger than Steve, Walt and Richard now. But it's easier to build a personal brand and then morph it into a company brand, because those personal brands, they're going to die eventually.
What about those people that have got half decent brands? What would you say to people who have got who they think the staff need to come on and bring their own personal brand? Is that a conflict of having a good brand and a good personal brand in the same?
Well, everyone has a personal brand. Well, in terms of, you know, we all have a personal brand.
But I'm talking about, let's say you have staff in your business. Do you encourage them to have a personal brand as well?
No, because not everyone wants to do that, and I don't think everyone should do that. Companies ask me this all the time. It's one of the most common questions I get asked in a Q&A after one of my talks. And I said, well, look, you know, I think there should be a personality to your business, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you. You have to love wanting to be on camera, on podcasts. You have to literally enjoy doing that. If that's not you, then you need to buy it in. So I gave an example of YouMove. YouMove, and I've spoken at their conference, and I've spoken at their franchisees conference. They used Carol Smiley to be the face of their business, and it didn't cost them, you know, millions of pounds. It did cost them a few tens of thousands of pounds, but they used the Carol Smiley personal brand to connect with their customers. You know, I think there are different ways of skinning this cat.
What if someone has an estate agent with a young valuer lister who wants to get out there? Would you encourage them to do that?
What the dangers of using your staff to be a personal brand and get really well known in your business, if they then decide to leave, you've lost that asset.
But then that's a nice problem to have. So you're going to have to try and keep them in a way, haven't you?
Yeah, so you should make them a shareholder partner in the business if they're that talented.
And have you got any final things to say about personal branding before we
Yeah, I mean, my final thing is, you know, if you are not 100% committed to it, then don't go and do that. It's, you know, there are other ways. You need to do call to action marketing, for example. That, you know, I choose content marketing for this sector that we're in because I love it.
Excellent.
You know, and I've been doing it for over 3 years, consistently making videos, making podcasts, writing books. But that's not for everyone. If you don't want to be out there, then don't do it.
Thank you for your time today.